Hey everybody, how you doing today? Chewy891 here, coming at you today with another Marvel Crisis Protocol video to talk about the card Hired Muscle and how strong it is, and possible counterplays for it, and just how to use the card in general. The past 2 games I played here locally, the past couple of games I think, last couple few, I don't know, and online too. I've played this card a lot, and I see myself playing the card a lot. And just the reason being is it's a very cheap card and can take off. Basically, can reposition any civilian token that's out there, which is huge. I'll just give an example for this weekend. I played the Brotherhood with Ebony Maw, and we were playing the 17-pointer, which I've never played before, by the way. I've never played this card before. I never wanted to. I mean, I was like, okay, 17 threat. It's the same thing as the 20.1. Not really, but I mean, it's the same concept. You pay a power, interact with it. If you get a crit, you get it. If you don't, just keep going. It stays there. This is probably seeing a lot more play now because of Hired Muscle, because of what it does, because these 3 decoys that are set up on the map are civilians. So, and this is a shout out to Vince, by the way. I'll have his video posted down below. He talks about his Spider Goon strategy. Basically, in that strategy, what he talks about is he moves up Venom. He plays this card, repositions 2 civilian tokens towards him. And if you have Thanos with the Reality Gem or Corvus with the Reality Gem, either or, they can both interact with that. And with the Reality Gem, they have a higher odds of getting both of them, so they have a chance of getting it early and controlling the game from there. It's a really cool strategy. Didn't even realize that the 3 decoys were civilians, so shout outs to him. It was a great video. And I basically just wanted to give it a shot today. Saturday, sorry. With Hired Muscle. And I didn't play any characters that had the Reality Gem, by the way. I just played the Brotherhood. I had Ebony Maw in it. I forgot. We played a 19-point game. It was Demons Downtown, and it was this 17-pointer. So I played it at 19. I had Magneto, Ebony Maw, Sabretooth, Okoye, and I had Taskmaster. And I was able to play them with Magneto's, obviously, his leadership and all that stuff. So basically what I ended up doing was, let's talk about what Hired Muscle does. Hired Muscle, any character may spend 1 power to play this card. Each civilian token within 3 of this character is placed within 2 of its current position. That's huge. It can also, you got to think about the point swing that it could do for you too. How I like to think about this card, in my opinion, this is a turn 1 card. You play it turn 1, you reposition some of the civilians towards you, or no, just reposition it towards you. You can, for example, if you're playing Panic, which is the 4 civilian tokens in the B format, right? You can go up, be within range 3 of both the civilians on this side, right over here. Well, I'll show it in a second. Basically somewhere up to here. And you can reposition both of the civilians, 2 towards you, and you can steal your opponent's civilian. Now, why that's huge is, think of it as, if you ever played League of Legends, right? Like League of Legends is a perfect example. So if you ever jungled in League of Legends, basically to start the game, you want to get your red and blue buff on your side. You basically start the game, you have your teammates helping you guys to get the red or blue, and then you travel all across your side of the jungle, right? Your side of the jungle, and you pick up your buffs, right? So the counter towards that is, if your team is feeling really, if you're not watching one of the buffs, there's a possibility that the other team can come to your side of the jungle and steal the other buff. If they do that, that puts their jungler 1 buff ahead of you. So they can go get your blue. Let's say if you start off with red, you take your red, but you're not having anybody watching your side, the other side of the where the buff is. If no one's watching it and no one gets them off it, they go and steal that blue buff. They go back to their jungle, go back for the red, or go for the blue, however they want to do it, and then take the other one. So now they're a buff ahead of you. They've gotten a lot of gold. They're basically going to be ahead of you, and you're going to miss a buff, and you're just going to be way behind at that point. That's how I think of this, right? So, like for example, I like to use Ebony Maw for this strategy because he nets you 3 power at the start of a turn. So I have the power to do this. I have the power to take an objective, and I still have 1 power left to whatever, right? So let me just set up an example with this. Okay, so let's do Panic, like I said. Right, that's the 19-pointer. Let's go with Panic. And let's do another secure. Let's see. Let's search out one that I... Perfect example. Let's go with secure mutant madman, right? The 18-pointer. Let's go ahead and set crisis tokens. Okay. I'm going to do the deployment lines. I'm going to get Ebony Maw somewhere out to here. Now, granted, this does put Ebony Maw up forward and for focus fire, but let me show you why this can be a problem. So let's say I win the initiative, I start turn, and I go ahead, Ebony Maw moves medium, I start off with 3 power, right? 1, 2, 3. I start, here I go. I move twice. Go this way. Snap, second action, move. I don't have to go up that far. Probably get... Well, I do have to go up far because I want to steal their point. That's the whole point of this. So I kind of want to come out to here. Right? So right now, currently, with 2 max medium moves, right? I'm currently within 3 of both. Right? And the key to this is you want to steal that point. And like I said, you don't have to fully go up the full medium. But right now, for this example, I did medium twice, right? Okay, here we go. I'm within 3. I play higher muscle for 1. Right? Play it. I reposition the civilian tokens within 2. Okay. I'll move that here. See, this is why you don't have to move the full medium, as you can see, because you just want to be within 1 of that civilian. You can probably come back just a little bit, like right about there. You have to get the position on this really, really perfectly. So let's move this up a little bit forward. I don't know what's going on with my recording today. But anyway, so you basically go ahead, you spend a power, pick up their civilian, you reposition yours back. You don't need to, because you can't pick up more than 1 in this one here. So you go ahead and reposition this one somewhere over here, just to get it out of your opponent's reach, and so that way it makes it easier for another character to pick this up, right? So you just kind of put it out to here or something. I mean, who knows, right? Put it here or whatever. Okay? So now, Ebony Maw, right now, just stole the opponent's civilian. I repositioned mine. This is still available to be... This is still available to be taken. I can still score this point and get behind Ebony Maw. So what I like to do is at this point, right? Because right now, your opponent has a decision to make. I took their civilian. I repositioned mine. And he's like, okay, so he's got to make a choice. Either pick up his citizen or focus fire on Ebony Maw. Right? I mean, this is a huge turn 1 decision now. Because let's say, for example, he comes in, he does an attack on Ebony Maw. I don't know. He does a physical attack on Ebony Maw, right? I can't juice the first one. So I'll go ahead and do 2 dice. Let's do a typical 5 dice attack here. Can I? Oh, am I removing dice? I don't want to remove dice. Oh, add dice. There we go. Huh. Sorry. So let's do a 5 dice attack. Right? I don't know who it is. We'll just do a 5 dice attack. Here we go. Right now I got a hit crit. Okay, add 1 dice. Cool, it's pretty good. It's 3 hits coming through. Okay, not enough to kill. And this will probably take an action and an attack. So now 2 dice to me to Ebony Maw, because that's my physical defense. I don't have enough to juice. Okay, right now I block 1, so right now I'll take 2, right? So 2 damage, which is not bad. I go to 3. So now you're done, right? You're contesting. You did an attack on Ebony Maw. Right now I have 3 power with a civilian, okay? My job right now is to protect Ebony Maw. Okay, so let's say I start with Doctor Strange. Let me get Doctor Strange out of here. Hold on a minute. Let's get Doctor Strange. Let's get him out of here. I think that's it, isn't it? Okay. I don't have to get that far to do this. I give him the Soul Gem. Right? He's got 2 power. Let's get him on the battlefield here. If I want to protect them, I can score this point. Right? Deployment line's on. I'm sorry. So I'll move the max range here. So right now I'm within, I have a decision make because right now it cost me 2 to do the dice to protect him. So the other part of this too is right now I can choose my second, depending on where they're at. I can either get an attack here, right? Because they need to get within range 3. I mean, most attacks are about range 2 to 3 on the first one, so they can probably be somewhere out to here, I'm thinking. I mean, this is max, like, range 3 right here. So they need to be somewhere back here, right? A model needs to be somewhere right there. Right now, Doctor Strange with 1 move here. Let's take a look. I don't think I have an attack, which is fine. Doesn't matter. What I can do then is I can go ahead. I won't even do anything at this point because right now Ebony Maw has 3 power. The whole point is if I didn't want to do anything here, I could just maybe not spend any power, leave those 2 there, and protect Ebony Maw. Or I just go ahead and spend the 2 power to flip. Right? So go ahead, flip. Get it? It's mine. And then from there, I can go ahead and spend 1. Pick up the citizen. And right now, I'm starting off the game, turn 2, scoring 3 points at this point with these 2 citizens, right? Because you just came over, you spent your attack, you focus fire on me. Okay, so now you're probably thinking, okay, I probably need to pick up a citizen, or do I come back here and go at Ebony Maw again? So now if you come over here and get the citizen, score that. Now I go with my turn. I come up, get the citizen. Doesn't matter who it is. I flip this, right? Flip it. Let's say it's, I don't know, 3 days, right? Whatever. So I get it, right? I got this. I got 2 bottom points. I have 3 citizens. I'm scoring 5 points that turn. Okay, if you don't kill Ebony Maw or reposition the token so that way, cause that's the next point I'm going to get into. So if someone's playing Hired Muscle, what you need to do, because here's the thing. So now let's say you do an attack on Ebony Maw. We go to turn 2. Let's say I keep initiative, right? Let's say this is the perfect scenario. Not much damage gets on. Let's say you get 1 more attack and I juice, right? I juice for 2. Right? I juice for 2. Left with 1 power. You do, like I said, a basic physical attack here. Whoa. Okay. Do an attack, right? I go ahead and do my 6 dice defense roll here. Right? Right there, you got 2. I block 2. I already got it, right? Ebony Maw safe with 1 power. The issue with this is that now next turn, let's say I start first, I get 3 power. Okay, all I gotta do is 2 attacks. I do 2 attacks with Ebony Maw, I gain a power. So each attack gets me 1 power. So now I'm at 5. Right? Starting turn 2. Now I'm at 5. I extract. I do 2 attacks. Let's say I daze. I don't know. Maybe I don't. I don't know. I'll just do it. We'll screw the 2 attacks. The whole point is to get the power. I'll spend the 6 to extract. This doesn't bother. I'll spend the 6 to extract. I'm up to 7 now. With controlling 2 more points. Right? So now, I mean, you gotta make a decision. Try to come over here, whatever. Doctor Strange at that point will have 2 power. Now you have to basically make a decision. Do you want to come up and attack Doctor Strange, or do you want to keep dealing with Ebony Maw? Ebony Maw's right for the picking here. He's got 5 health left. He probably does maybe the next attack or just more damage. But I'm just going to give him 2 more dice at this point and just go, basically just protect Ebony Maw and try to extract the next one. And if you use superpower, and then right now you're in range of Soul Stone as well. So if you use any superpowers or anything like that, I'm going to gain some power. I'm going to do Doctor Strange things at that point. And probably extract this one this turn. And if I do, I'm already at 9. And I have the other extract, and you can't get the other one. I'm ahead by a lot at this point. And right now, if you only grabbed 1 citizen in those 2, you'd be at 3 points. And if the next turn, if you basically, let's say you extract that, you go to 5. I mean, you're behind basically. You're behind a lot of points at that point. So I mean, hired muscle is really really good in with citizens. It's so good. It's cheap to play. There are a lot of models that can play it and still have a power left to do stuff. Ebony Maw's one of them. Hulk, I think, is one of them that gets 3 power and he gets it. If you want to, Loki, if you put a gem on him, Thanos, if you put multiple gems on him, you could do it with multiple power, and then just get rid of it the next turn. Just go ahead and just snowball from there with points. You know, a lot of things have to go your way to catch up. You know, because if I end up extracting the second one, like I said, getting power, things happen. I mean, I'm up, as you can see, turn 2, I'm at 9 points. And if you don't take out any of these, all I have to do is control one of these points back here. And you as well, depending, you have to make decisions too. You got to take out these 2 points, or one of them, or I have the control. And let's say by some miracle I end up keeping these 2. I do my extract, right? And I still got the citizen. Let's say I don't extract the other citizen that I have, because I have done 2. So I still control these 2, and I have that. That's 3 points to me. I go to 12. Now it's time. How do I win the game? Turn 3. After turn 3, basically. You know? Like, Hired Muscle did that off of turn 1. And yeah, I mean, it's a cheap card. It repositions stuff. I mean, this is just one example. I mean, I'll go with my example over the weekend, what I did with Magneto. And this is basically the Spider-Goon stuff that Vince was talking about. I'm going to use Doctor Strange as the base and everything. So I'm going to take off these 2 here. And I'm going to play what we had over the weekend. Which was, we had scrolls, right? Let's clear everything. Hold on a minute. Let's clean everything up. Clear. Alright, so we're going to put the extract for scrolls. And I'm sorry about the video. It's cutting in and out. I don't know what's going on today. But I got to get this video out there and get my thoughts out there because this is awesome. So let's do that. Let's get Demons Downtown. At 19. Okay. We're going to do that. Like I said, I'm going to use Strange as Magneto. They have the same base. So same thing. I started the game off right here. This is what I did, literally. Moved up. Now I wasn't in a crappy position where I couldn't interact with both. Oh, that's right. This thing is still on. Sorry about that. My apologies. So I'll come over here. Move. I don't think I'm in range 3 of either of these things at this point. I'm within range 3 of that one, but not the other. Right? But you have to spend your second move. You have 3 power, like I said. I'll just put every mouse over here. Okay, there we go. And then I'll go ahead and move up against the Tad, because I want to get within range 3 of both. That should do it right there. Yep. I can even come back a little bit. Like somewhere over here. That's a little too far. I'm just trying to get the max range here, which I will in a second. Boom. Boom. Okay, so there you go. Hired muscle. Spend a power. Move these 2 back. And honestly, I was at a point where I couldn't interact with one of them, but it doesn't matter. What I'm doing here is I'm trying to get you to come to me now at this point. So I move this one out to here. I don't care if I can interact with it or not. Right there. Same thing for this one. What I did was I kind of like oppositioned it out to here. Because I don't care. Right? I'll move this back a little bit. This is a little too generous. So then what I ended up doing was I ended up going with Magneto. And I was like, okay, cool. I spent the power. I have 2. I can't interact with either one. Even better. Right? Because Ebony Maw now has 2. If you start focus firing on him, I have 2. I can protect myself. And go to 6 with Telekinetic Powerhouse. So then you snap right here. Okay, now, you know, you start off turn 1. All I literally did. And I only interacted with one of them, right? With Thanos, this is more effective because you can get within 2 with a medium movement, with a couple medium movements. And interact with both. But this, all I wanted, seriously, all I wanted to do was to get Magneto up to here. Something like that, I don't know. I'm moving back a little bit over here, so that way I don't have that much to move to get to the second one. So basically what I did was I spent the power, interacted, 2 dice, hope for the crit. I didn't get it, which I don't care. Reason being is that the whole point of this strat for me is to bring you in closer to Magneto so I can start doing Magneto things and start throwing stuff at you. Because you have to come towards this way to get this. Otherwise, this is the only one you can interact with over here to the right. Now, I'll have these two and I'll have 3 more characters going that way and pushing and seeing what happens, right? But basically, I have... Now, next turn, you know, hey, I'm Magneto, right? I had 2 power because of the construct. I spent 1 to do that. So I go to 1. Now I put out the second metal construct. I go to 3. Now I have options. Let's say if you came out here and attacked or whatever, I can start throwing stuff at you. I can start doing attacks and pushing, all that stuff. I'll get advanced R&D. But the thing is here, if I get a daze or anything, all I do is I spend a power, I interact. Now, granted, I don't have the reality gem, so this is hard to do. Hey, I didn't get it. Okay, cool. Don't care. I didn't want to attack, right? I threw something or whatever. I have advanced R&D. I can get a power back. Here. Go to this one. Interact with it. Didn't get it. But the point is, I have more of an opportunity. I have more chances to go for this now on this side. Just with doing minimal movement. You know? So, it's huge. I mean, the repositioning, just repositioning this. And I didn't even do the smart stuff with the reality gem or anything. This was just to pull you in closer to me. You know, so I can go ahead and start doing my stuff, and I can go ahead and interact with these points as much as I want to interact with them. I'm in control here at this point with these 2 points. If I get this, especially with this stupid objective, which is a point each. This isn't Gamma Wave where you go up 1 and it goes up to 2 and 3. This is just 1 point each. I mean, if I get this in this low-scoring game, I mean, I'm in control and I'm ahead. You know? And again, you have to make a decision now. So now I have either you're going to come at me and like try to get these 2, or you're going to focus just on this one right here and get one opportunity, you know, each character to take this one. And I'm going to have people coming this way coming after you, basically, on the left over here, you know? But yeah, like how I think about it is, honestly, it's like if you ever play League of Legends, is basically like stealing your opponent's red buff or blue buff. Going to their side of the field and stealing it. That's basically what this is. So to counter this, I think there's not a lot. Because, I mean, this is a turn 1 play that you can't really stop. If your opponent has hired muscle and he's going first, I mean, he's going to do this. There's no way he's going to wait a turn to do this. If he waits 1 turn to do this, it kind of goes away. Because if I am playing hard muscle as well, if he doesn't do it, I'm going to do it next turn. Right? I'm like, okay, I'm doing it and pull these towards me. Now, he can do something crazy with coming. Now, again, he's overextending to get these 2 back to over there. But now he came to my side, right? He would have to get to somewhere right here to do this. And this is where Magneto wants you to be anyway. Range 3, range 4. You're already in range of my attacks now. You have to spend 2 movements to do this. To get out to here somewhere if you want to pull both. And pull them out further or something like that. It's a really powerful card and changes everything turn 1. From my experience playing with this card, it's very, very, very good. And right now we have, I don't know, let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right now we have 6, I believe. Let's see. That have citizens right now. Oh, no, we don't. Let me put this one away. I'm sorry. This one doesn't. Target of opportunity. That's not. Disregard. So right now we have 5 that deal with civilians, right? We have a grand total right now. Shoot, I think we have, what, 18? Let's put these back. So I said 5 civilians, right? Let's get the accurate count here. I'm not going to lie to the internet. And again, apologies for the recording. I don't know what's going on. I don't want to record this again. I know what's going in and out. My bad. But just hopefully you can see everything I did and understand it. I apologize for that. I'll get better with it next time. I had a better recording last time. I don't know what's going on tonight with OBS and all this crap. I don't know. Right now, yeah, that's what I figured. We have 9 secure, 9 extract. I don't know where I deleted it, but it doesn't matter. 18. So right now we have 5 that are civilians. Ooh, that's terrible. I'm not good at math. Hold on a second. I'm just trying to get you the percentage. So right now, 27% of the objectives are civilian-based, which isn't huge, right? But it's still, you know, a good number. And if someone's going to play hard muscle, they're going to play a lot of civilians. And there's a lot of there's a decent amount of high number threat with it too. I mean, you get the 19th there for panic. 16 for mayor, and then you have 17 for the scroll. So those are good numbers to field a lot of models in too, you know. But yeah, I mean that's how I would play hired muscle. That's my mentality towards it. And like I said, I think the counterplay to this is you need to immediately, let's say for this example, I don't know what you can do. You can either get more aggressive if you have hired muscle yourself and reposition these two, but again, next turn you put yourself in peril at that point. I don't think there's much to this one, but like for an example, like something like panic, you have to do next turn hired muscle on this side over here. You have to do it on this side over here. If not, you're gonna really put me ahead. And this game is the first of 16, so if I can score those points as quickly as possible and end the game as fast as possible, I will. I mean, because that's what I want to do. And I'll go for it. But yeah, I mean, this card is really, really, really good. Really, really good. Do I think it'll hit the limited list? I don't know. It's hard to say right now. I think they had to do some thinking on this. I mean, like I said, 27% of the games right now have civilians. I mean, the other percentage doesn't, but the person who's going to play this card is probably going to be playing a lot of civilians, which I will. I'm probably going to be playing this card a lot of extract and civilians and a lot of secure civilians. I'm going to do it because, like I said, I like what it does. It like changes your way of thinking after turn 1. You know, I would hate to have this done to me turn 1. I'm like, oh crap. But at least I know what's coming. I played this enough. I'm like, okay, I know this is coming. Now I need to come up with a plan to change this outcome, right? In this one, I don't really have an answer right now. The only thing I can think of is if you have hired muscle, reposition this next turn. You have no choice. You have to reposition these two because what you don't want, especially in a slow game like this where these are just a point apiece, you don't want your opponent to get this as fast as possible. Because right now, the only way he can do it, if he wanted to be ballsy, he can go up and move really well. If you come up and move these with a model like I just did, and then have, I don't know, Thanos or whatever within 1 to do the reality gem and do that, or Corvus, you can get there, but it takes 1 model to do this. So you have to have a model to do this, to come up and reposition those within 2. I don't know if you can move twice and get those 2 within. I'm pretty sure you can. I would have to reposition this. But maybe you can come up really quickly with Thanos, pay the power, reposition both of them towards you. I don't know if you can. I mean, with this base, it's possible. I'll have to test that myself. And he could probably get 2 chances. Well, he's going to get, let's see. So, net of power, reality is 1. He has to put 1 more gem on Thanos. That would make Thanos really, really expensive. So let's say if you're playing an expensive game and you put like reality and like mind on him or something, so he'll probably be at 3 power. You need someone with 3 power to do this. So you would have to move up twice, do hired muscle, move them towards you. You have 1 power. We have 2 power left. You'd have to then spend a power for each one to try to get them. Your chances go higher with the reality. If you get one of them, you're in great shape. All that's left is score these in the middle with Thanos with that, and he's very, very tanky and good luck. If he gets it on the first shot. If he gets on the second shot, it's like, okay, he spent all his power. He has it. He has no power. Now you have to focus all your effort onto him to get that point, and that's going to be tough. Because Thanos is just, he's so tanky. But yeah, I would have to test that myself if you wanted to get. But you would need 2 reality gems to do it. You definitely need reality, and you definitely. Oops, I said reality gems. Sorry, infinity gems. My God, you would need 2 infinity gems to do it. You could probably just throw power on him at that. But mind is so good. Mind just move people. Anyway, the point is that in this one it's very, very strong with decoy. And I mean, to get it to take the advantage that early with a 2-point swing with a slower game, that's huge. But yeah, I mean, that's my thoughts on Hired Muscle. I know this is kind of a convoluted video here, and I said a lot, and I've just been thinking about this all weekend, especially after my game on Saturday, where I used this card. I've used it a time before that. I did something really cool with Storm. I know I've talked about this a bunch. But with her ability to hop within somebody... Well, anybody can hop within... If they're within 2, you go within 1, and then you reposition. You can do that too. Take some tokens. Takes the civilian tokens and take the point away from your opponent. In Panic, I'm telling... Like, there's a way to counter that. In this one, I just don't think there really is. I think you have to start turn 1 with Hired Muscle and take it. I think in this one, if you know your opponent has Hired Muscle, you pray you go first, basically. Pray you go first, and you do the repositioning. Because then they have to overextend to reposition those decoys towards you. That's what you have to do. In Panic, you need to go to the other side and do it quickly. Because you do not want to lose a 3rd civilian to your opponent at all. So, another one where I want to see this played in, and this will be fun to do, because you do have, let's see, I just found this out today. Well, just looking at cards now. You do have the spider infected. That is also civilian when you can reposition certain points and steal that away from your opponent. I would have to, you know what? Let's do it now. Actually, let's see what happens here. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent now. But that's how much this card has made me think over the weekend. Like I played it, I'm like, what other possibilities do I have here? You know, like this is sick. You know, let's place that. So right now, the key is to get the middle. And I think this is very easy to do. So, can I take more than 1? So you can't hold more than 1. So it's basically same concept. I mean, I don't even have to overextend as much too. So the key is to get the middle. Whoever gets the middle, because you're going to get 1 or 2, okay, is that an advantage in this scenario. So let's do it. Turn on deployment lines. Me, like I said, I mean, Maul, because he net gains 3. Does not need a gem. Does not need anything. I'll place. Let's say I'm playing Doctor Strange this time. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Turn off deployment lines. God, and again, I'm sorry that my video keeps cutting out like that. I apologize. I don't know what it is. But I want to get this video out there, so please forgive me. So same thing. Move once. We might need to move twice just to get that within 2. Because if I do the 2 here... Oh, maybe I just need to move once. Let's take a look. So I can't move it. That's fine. Let's grab it. Okay, please. Ah! Stop. Okay. Ah! Unsnap. Like, I can't grab the spider infected, which is annoying right now. Why? Ugh! This is ruined now. But I'm pretty sure you can get... Let's just do this. I don't know what's going on here. Everything's just locked up on me, and I don't know what's going on. Well, point is, let me get out range 1. I'm pretty sure I'm already within range 1 here. Am I within range 3 is the question. Yep. Okay. So here we go. Grab the range 2. Snap. We can go ahead, grab range 1. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be within it. If this can stay. Oh my god. Come on, don't do this to me. I'm pretty sure I'm within range 1. So you go ahead, you move that within range 2. Ebony Maw picks that up, reposition this one towards you. And right now, again, so you got the middle. You didn't have to overextend that far. You still have one more action to go with Ebony Maw. You can either move up or move back or whatever. You can do something. Reposition him somewhere else. I got the spider infected. I got the middle one. We're okay. I reposition this one further back or anything like that. You know, somewhere out to here or something. I don't know. Right? So you do that. I mean, you pick it up. Again, you can net you a 3-point swing here with the spider because you just grabbed that one. Now your opponent's going to go, okay, well, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Should I overextend out to here and grab this one? It just forces them to make a crucial play to either overextend with hired muscle or just anything. It just changes their gameplay, and that's why I like this game. That's why I like the card. I do feel it's very strong. But I feel like on either side, it forces you to think and come up with something for this, like a counter for it. And right now, the only counter for it is like you gotta run hired muscle or be prepared, and you gotta find a way to take that point off the opponent, right? But in this one, it'll be really fun. Actually, I want to try this over the weekend with the spider infected and see what happens. But yeah, I mean, any characters with multiple power, you do this with. I mean, it'd be really simple. Ebony Maw nets you 3. Hulk, I mean, whatever. You can probably do it with Hulk. That's cool. He's got a big base. He nets you 3 power 2. He'll save someone, grab a point. You can do that as well. I think it'll force people to focus on him to maybe do damage on Hulk. If they do damage on Hulk, if they don't kill him one turn, he's gonna be pretty deadly. Ebony Maw will net you 2 power with Reality Gem when it comes to certain things like the decoy. For now, Thanos, you give him power. You give anybody that gets a gem, they can do this effectively. Any Asgardian that gets you that starts off with 2 power turn can do this as well. Just any character that starts off with multiple power, this is a strong card for them, and they should do this. You should utilize this for sure. I like using Ebony Maw because I think he's awesome, and he's really good in my opinion. 5 threat. I think he's worth every penny with playing this kind of style. Anyways, guys, yeah, but that's my thoughts on hired muscle and ways to use it, ways to implement it, and just the mentality with it, and maybe and some counterplay. Like that's the only thing I can think of right now is just either you run hired muscle after he does it to you, then you do it to him, or you start turn 1. Start turn 1, do hired muscle immediately. Do not wait. Immediately do it. Grab the point, and put the pressure on your opponent to make some decisions. And that's it. Anyways, guys, Chewy891 here out again. Apologize for the video cutting out a little bit. I don't know what's going on. I think hopefully you get to see some of the stuff that I put out here. Again, watch Vince's video. I will have it in the description down below on the Spider Goon strategy that he came up with, and you'll have a better understanding of what I'm talking about. And the video it's not 40 minutes. It's 10 to 12 minutes, and it's very, very simple. And it goes over one aspect of using hired muscle with his strategy with Thanos and the Reality Gem. So anyways, guys, take care. Have a good one. Have a blessed day. Be safe out there. Wash your hands. Wear your mask. Or if you don't wear your mask, be respectful. If you're wearing a mask, be respectful towards your fellow citizens. Be safe out there, guys. Have a great day. Rate the video if you like the video. Unlike the video if you don't like the video. Subscribe if you want to subscribe for more content. Again, I mean, my previous videos weren't like this with the constantly cutting out and all that. I apologize. I will get this corrected. I just really wanted to get this out there. I didn't want to record this again. So, anyways, guys, thank you very much. Have a blessed day. Take care.